You want healthy, glowing skin, but with all the products, trends, and conflicting advice, it's hard to know what actually works. I understand. I am Dr. Tina Meder, a former cardiologist and specialist in the skincare development and cosmetic safety expert. I've spent years studying the science of skin. Welcome to Meder Beauty podcast, where we uncover what really matters, break down the science, and give you real expert-backed skincare advice. Whether you're looking to achieve radiant, healthy skin, curious about anti-aging, or want to understand what's really in your product, you are in the right place. Rooted in science and the truth about what your skin actually needs, we'll have in-depth conversations with leading dermatologists, medical experts, and skincare brand founders to bring you the latest innovations, evidence-based insights, and industry secrets that truly make a difference. We are so happy you are here. So let's go. Let's discuss about peptides. It is one of my favorite topics in the skincare, in cosmetology, and I feel like I am the queen of peptides. I'm using peptides since 2009, and actually very first product of Meder brand was based on peptides. And the appearance of peptides on the cosmetic market changed my professional career, absolutely, because I was head of international training for one of the big professional skincare brands, and I happily traveled around the world. But one day, I was invited in the quality of cosmetic safety expert, which is my first specialization, to the raw material conference. And for the first time in my life, I heard about this new category of ingredients, peptides. And first time in my life, I've seen the ingredients which can be even more efficient than everything which we use traditionally, including retinol, but in the same time, absolutely safe. No side effects, no discomfort, biologically identical. I couldn't find any problem with peptides, and it never happened to me before. I was so inspired. So I came back to the laboratory. I was like, we should launch it because it is the future of skincare. And I was surprised how people don't understand the peptide science. But I'm even more surprised to discover that even now, 16 years later, people still don't really understand peptides because actually, I believed that peptides will be everywhere and each skincare formulation in 2010. It didn't happen. So I said it will be 2015, 2020. And finally, now we see peptides largely all around us. And I hear a lot of questions. And so let me explain what are peptides and what we can do with them. When I started in 2006, when the first time I've seen peptides, they've been only 3 peptides registered for the cosmetic use. In 2024, they've been more than 600. And my prognosis, then at the end of this decade, in 2030, there will be more than 1,000 peptides registered for cosmetic use, for sure. So we cannot say that peptide is anti-aging or peptide is anti-wrinkles, because when you have thousands of different peptides, obviously they are very different. We split them in many categories. But what is similar about peptides? First of all, they are very small molecules. All peptides are built from amino acids. And we have amino acids circulating in our body. They are absolutely essential for our life and for our health. Our DNA is built from amino acids. Our muscles built from amino acids. In our brain, there are a lot of structures built from amino acids. Our skin, from the skin barrier, built from amino acids. Collagen, built from amino acids. So peptides, they are short molecules, very similar to many of organs and tissues which we have in our body. Why is this so important that they are small? Because smaller the molecule is, higher the probability for this molecule to be able to penetrate into the skin. And it was even found that it is some rule about the size of the substance, which defines the ability of the substance to penetrate into the skin. And we measure the weight of the molecule in the unit called Dalton. When you have the molecules, which is smaller than 500 Dalton in size, it penetrates into the skin very easily. If the molecules is bigger than 500 Daltons, very probably it cannot penetrate in the skin. And when we see really big molecules, like 10,000 Daltons or million Daltons, it will not penetrate to the skin ever, even with the help of some devices or some technology. To understand it better, what are small molecules? Probably every one of you tried some painkiller gel when you experience pain. They have a different name, but all of them, they based on these painkiller substances like ibuprofen or Voltaren. And when you apply in the skin on your back, in 15, maybe in 20 minutes, you feel better. You feel less of pain. Why? Because the molecular weight of this ibuprofen is very low. It's about 200 Dalton. So it is able to penetrate into your skin, under your skin, travel through muscles, and go directly to the joint when it is able to reduce the inflammation and reduce the pain sensation. And it is the same about some substances we are using in the skincare. For example, famous retinol is very small. It is about 200 Dalton, so it can penetrate into the very deep layers of the skin. And when the molecule is so small, it's always the danger it can travel even deeper and go to the bloodstream. That's why it's not recommended and it is forbidden to use retinol-based skincare during the pregnancy, because retinol is a vitamin A and it travels in the bloodstream. But there are a lot of other substances used in the skincare. For example, caffeine. Yes, it's very small, penetrates in the deeper skin layer. If the caffeine go deeper, nothing bad happens, because it's literally the same when you drink a coffee, just in the much smaller dose. It can be niacinamide, vitamin B3. It can be vitamin B5, which we use in the skincare as well. It can be other substances and peptides. One amino acid is very small. It has a molecular weight like 80, maybe 100 Dalton. So when you have peptides built from 5 amino acids, it is small enough to go into the skin and to interact with some skin structures. And in the skincare, we are using mostly peptides built from 2 amino acids or 3 amino acids or 5 or 6 amino acids. Very rare when we use peptides built from 7 or 8 amino acids. And these peptides, they're used by our body like messengers. We call them signal molecules. So it is literally the language which our cells using to communicate to each other. And it has a name, intercellular communication. When the cell wants to say something to another cell, mostly they send some orders. For example, your skin cells affected by the ultraviolet, and your cells react, sending the message to the pigment cells located deeper into the skin. And they are crying to signal cells, oh, we have a sun rays here, please produce more of pigment, protect us. And pigment cells starting to move, start to produce pigment, which is able to do very fast, and send this pigment on the upper skin layer, covering the skin, what we call by tan. And this tan pigmented skin is giving some protection to other cells who send this message. So it's like words used by skin cells and other cells of our body, asking other cells to do something for them. And this language was deciphered by the scientists, molecular biologists, biochemists, and they started to use this language in the pharmacology. And in the same time, we've had this amazing chance to use these messengers for our skincare. One of the very first peptides used in the skincare was registered in the early 2000s, and it was a peptide able to communicate with muscles entwined into the skin. So it was the peptide with a message to muscles to relax, to contract less. We call this family of the peptides now neuromodulating or Botox-like peptides, and it was just the word relax, written and sent by our skincare to the cells. Actually, our nervous cells can sense this word. When you feel good, for example, you are doing yoga and you stay in this Shavasana position and your yoga trainer just say you, relax your face, relax your neck, and you follow this instruction, you relax your face, sending this relax biochemical message from your brain to your muscles. We do the same. We are hacking this message and sending this from the skincare using these peptides. We can do literally whatever we want. Now we can send the message to the pigment cells, produce more pigment, or produce less pigment, which is very handy when we treat the hyperpigmentation. We can send the message to the immune system cells located in the skin, produce less of irritating substances, produce less of allergic mediators, produce less of inflammatory mediators. So we can calm down the inflammation, we can calm down allergic reaction, or we can calm down the skin sensitivity. That's what we do with peptides. And we can send the message, produce more of collagen to skin cells located in the deep skin layers. We call these skin cells fibroblasts, and they are producing cells. They are synthesizing for us collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid. So literally everything forming this useful, tight, strong skin structure. And now we have peptides to send to the cells, asking them not only produce more of collagen, but produce more of specific type of collagen. For example, we can ask them to produce more of collagen typical for the eye area and using it in the eye skincare. Or we can ask them to produce more of collagen, which is more typical for the face. And we are using this for different kind of rejuvenating skincare for the face. Or we can ask them to produce more of elastin with another peptide, another word. And elastin, it is the main protein of the neck skin. So it creates a specific neck care. So our opportunity are absolutely endless with peptides. And as you can see, now we have 600 of them, and they are very different. So we have all this dictionary of different orders and demands for our skin. But it depends on us how we can use them. What is very interesting about peptides, they seem like easy things, small molecules. When you apply it in the skin, it penetrates into the deep of the skin, interact with some skin cells or skin structures, and once this word is sent to the cells, and when it is read by the cells, it just naturally absorbed by our body. And this amino acid can be used for our muscles on some other structures in our body. So it's literally reuse, recycle once again. So they are absolutely biologically identical and safe. The allergic reaction for peptides, they are unknown, despite we are using peptide for more than 20 years. But what is interesting about peptides, that's not only the quantity of amino acids which we use to build these peptides, but also the quality of these amino acids, because we have 20 different amino acids, which we are using forming this word. So 20 amino acids, it's like an alphabet, which can create different words. And it's really like in words, when you change the position of two letters in the word, it can change the meaning. So you can use exactly same 5 amino acids, but when the position, the sequence of amino acids is changed, it will be different message. to skin cells. So with the same amino acid, you can design peptides to relax facial muscles, to calm down the skin. And also, to make it even more complicated, peptides, the shape of peptides molecule, the stereo shape of peptide molecule also has some meaning. And sometimes we are using only peptides turned to the left or turned to the right to have more efficiency, because it's like the glove and the hand. If you are trying to wear the left glove on the right hand, it will not work. So you need this left glove for the hand. So peptides are glove. And cells have these little hands called receptors. Now I hope then you think, oh my God, I will never understand it properly, but bear with me. I will explain it a little bit more. Now we have 5 family of peptides used in the skincare. First family is called signal peptides. So it's easy to understand, right? It's signals. It's these messengers sending the message, and message is written for some purposes by another cells. So signal peptides, it is the most popular category of peptides. Probably there are 400 from 600. They are signals. Signal peptide can boost the collagen synthesis, can boost the elastin synthesis or hyaluronic acid synthesis. They can target the pigmentation. They can calm down the inflammation, and they can strengthen the skin structure. So most of the time, signaling peptides, they are used in the rejuvenating skincare formulations. They are used in the brightening and lightening skincare, and they are used in the skincare for the sensitive skin. In Medar, we use them a lot. For example, we use matrix elitase peptides efficiently boosting the collagen synthesis, and we use it in our anti-wrinkles products like Myofix. We are using this peptide in masks to strengthen the skin structure, especially in our Age Well Armor Lift mask. And we use this matrix seal in some of our moisturizers. Another peptide is Regin, boosting the elastin synthesis. Great peptide for our Armor Neck Cream, restoring the neck skin structure and rejuvenating the neck, eliminating the neck's circular wrinkles. Also, we are using melanostatin, that's peptide targeting pigment cells and decreasing the amount of the melanin of pigment in the cells, brightening the skin. Even we use special peptide called calmosensin in the deodorant to calm down the inflammation, because the inflammation plays a role in the formation of the sweat odor. I know how it sounds. And yes, you can use peptides for deodorants as well. So they are not only for rejuvenating facial skincare. Another category of peptides, they are carrier peptides. Carrier peptides, they are deliverer. So they're FedEx or UPS peptides, bringing some elements and some substances to cells who are deficient in these substances. Most of the time, they are metals. And most famous carrier peptides, it is copper peptides called GHK. And these peptides bring the copper to skin cells. And I know it sounds a bit surprising, but copper is absolutely essential for our cells to produce collagen and elastin and all kinds of fibers used for our skin structure. So when you have enough of copper, your skin will be tight and more useful. If you are deficient in copper, first of all, your skin will be weakened, but also you lose this ability for the wound healing, because copper peptide, copper, it is a healing metal. It is a healing ingredient. So originally, these copper peptides been developed for pharmacology, for the chronic wound healing, but they found their way in the skincare, and we are using them in the anti-aging skincare formulation and also in the formulation helping to regenerate the skin. New category of these carrier peptides, they are manganese peptide. It's a recent innovation, manganese carrying peptides, and they are absolutely crucial to protect the skin from the sun. They are sun-protecting peptide, And now you see the first formulation with manganese peptides on the market. And I'm sure it will be much more of them. Third category, maybe my favorite one, neuromodulating peptides or Botox-like peptides. I don't like the term Botox-like because nothing is really like a Botox. But neuromodulating peptides, they are famous for their ability to reduce muscles contraction, which leads to formation of expression lines. If you can keep your skin relaxed, you will never form lines or wrinkles. And it is our problem, especially for the people who experience a lot of emotions, who express a lot of emotions. So they develop facial lines on the forehead, glabellar area between eyebrows, or in the eye area quite early. Because these expression lines, they are not purely age-related. They are very much related to your muscles function. If your muscles are constantly contracting, if they stay in the contraction, they form this line and wrinkles, so that tell us a lot about your emotional state. And what is very interesting, there are some kind of specific facial feedback. So we should experience emotion. We should be free to express our emotions, contracting our muscles. But we don't want to experience the same emotion all the time, especially when we are speaking about negative emotion. So simply speaking, we don't want to frown 24 hours a day. If we are worried, we can frown, but we should be able to relax it without forming the wrinkles. And that's what these neuromodulating peptides do. They interact between muscles and nerves, and so they just silencing slightly the signals sent by the brain to muscles, so muscles contract less energetically. They're still able to contract, but they are not able to contract so strong to be able to form the lines and wrinkles in the skin. So they are best ingredients to prevent facial wrinkles and to diminish existing facial wrinkles, and sometimes even completely eliminate wrinkles, especially in the eye area and on the forehead. Sometimes when the wrinkles are very deep, peptides can be not enough. And so if you want to eliminate the wrinkles, especially 11 lines, if you want to eliminate them completely, they're deep, the best way to do that will be botulinum toxin injections. But if you have more superficial, mild wrinkles, peptides can be the absolutely perfect solution. What is great about neuromodulating peptides is that no need to use them the whole year. If you're using them on the daily basis for 5, maybe 10 weeks, your skin will be relaxed enough for upcoming 6, maybe 8 months. So you literally need 1 bottle of the peptide-based product in 6 months, maybe even once a year, if you're lucky. For example, me, I'm using our MyoFix Active Cream to maintain my forehead wrinkle-free only once a year. But I'm doing it for the 15 years. So the effect is cumulative. In the first 3 years, I used it twice a year. And after I found that my skin stayed relaxed, and now I'm good for the whole year. So it is a great solution. The examples of neuromodulating peptides are obviously argireline, the most famous one, Lufazil, SYN-ACE, mimicking the viper poison, and new peptide kind like Vialox and Monapsis, the very new one which we use in the new updated version of the MyoFix. The next category of peptides, they are peptides able to inhibit activity of enzymes. I will not say fighting enzymes, but they're a little bit contradicting to enzymes. Why it is so important? Because, yes, we need enzymes. They are absolutely vital for our function and for our life. But enzymes are very different. And in our skin, they are enzymes destroying collagen fibers, destroying elastin, and destroying hyaluronic acid. When we are young, this enzyme activity is very much balanced with the collagen production. So we produce more collagen than our enzymes destroy. And our skin keep strong, tightened, and wrinkle-free. But with an age, our enzyme become more active and collagen production become less efficient. So at some point, we start to produce less of collagen than our skin enzymes destroy. And that's why we need these enzyme-inhibiting peptides, because they reduce the activity of collagen-eating enzymes, elastin-eating or destroying enzymes, and hyaluronic acid-eating enzymes. So all these enzymes, they become less active, and we have more of structural elements in our skin, more of collagen, more of hyaluronic acid. So there are two ways to maintain your skin elasticity. We can boost collagen production, but in the same time, we can reduce the collagen destruction. And that's what we do. We combine these two categories of peptide. Matrixyl, which boosts the collagen production, and, for example, peptides derived from soy or silk. Yes, in silk we have very efficient and active peptides, which are biologically identical to our skin, so we can use them. Also, there are peptides derived from rice fibers as well. I love these peptides. I use them in our age collection, in the Armor Lift, but also in our night circadian skincare, and especially in our Circa Night cream. So at night, your skin destroys less of collagen, and you have this fresh look and better skin elasticity. And the newest category of peptide discovered just recently, they are skin-penetrating peptides. They are peptides which improve their ability to penetrate the skin, not only for themselves, but for other substances as well. So when you add these peptides in the skincare formulation, they act as enhancers of the penetration. So they bind to keratin on the skin surface and create like these sandworms in the dune, the holes and the elevators to go to the ground floor, taking with them everything applied on the skin alongside them. So they act in synergy with other ingredients and just give us a completely new opportunity. For example, we use these peptides in our new brightening skincare solution, Luminoderm cream, and this peptide called Cosmetic Drone is combining this skin-penetrating peptide with brightening peptides. So skin-penetrating peptides go deep to the pigment cells and bring this brightening melanin-destroying peptide with them, open the door to the cells, and ready to be absorbed by the body. And at this moment, this second brightening peptide start to act indoors, inside of the melanin cells. So it's absolutely new category, very promising, and I hope we will have more of them. What are myths about peptides? People think that peptides can penetrate the skin. It is not true. As you understand, they can, because they're very small molecules, and we have this special technology helping them to penetrate exactly to the targeted cells. Also, some people think that peptides in the skincare are irritating. They are not. There are no one case of allergic reaction to peptides known until this time. If the peptide skincare feels like irritating for the skin, it was probably bad formulated and contains other substances irritating for the skin. Also, third myth about peptides, and it's a little bit opposite. And if you have peptide in your skincare product, it will be absolutely mostly efficient product. Unfortunately, it is not, because peptides are dose dependent. They act in a very small amount, but still, you should have sufficient concentration of peptide in your formula to get this formula efficiency. And peptides are expensive. So unfortunately, many brands, they just don't use enough of peptides in their skincare. And this skincare can be disappointing. The reputation of the brand is important too. And also some people think that peptides work overnight. You apply it at the night, and Cinderella effect, in the morning, you will wake up 20 years younger. It is impossible. I'm sorry to break this illusion, but skin is a living organ. Nothing works overnight if we are speaking about long-lasting results. You should be patient, you should give time, and we see some results of the well-formulated peptide skincare in the first days of use, especially speaking about anti-inflammatory, calming peptides in the skincare. But when we are using peptides for wrinkles correction formulation, like neuromodulating peptides, or peptides to boost collagen synthesis, or reduce activity of collagen-eating enzymes, wait for 3, 4, 5 weeks to see your skin changing. And it will happen. If it is well formulated, it will happen for sure. And the last words about peptides, it is very important to understand that peptides are fragile molecules. It's very easy to destroy peptides and transform it to the collection of the amino acids, which will not be understood by skin cells as a message. Your acids, like glycolic acid, or citric acid, or salicylic acid, or other kind of acid, can transform this word to the collection of letters, which will be unreadable for skin cells. Same for retinol, because it speeds up the skin renewal so efficiently, then peptides are not able to interact properly, address skin cells, which should be addressed, because skin cells are so busy answering the retinol message, they will be deaf to the subtle message of peptides. So it is very important to be confident in the peptide skincare and do not mix it up with your toners or cleansers or moisturizer containing acids or retinol. If you follow the simple rules, I am sure you will see how magic peptides are in the skincare. Peptides are the future of the skincare, and I hope we will see peptides in every skin formulation probably in the upcoming years. Thank you for joining us today on the Matter Beauty podcast. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an expert skincare tip. Have a question or topic you'd like for me to cover? Send me a message at podcast@matterbeauty.com and let's keep the conversation going. Also, you can visit matterbeauty.com and discover Matter Skincare, which I created. And if you enjoyed the show, I'd love if you left a review. It helps others find the podcast and keeps us growing. Until next time, stay healthy, stay glowing, and take care of your skin.